up and wrapped in plastic, zipped up in bags. When it happens, that's it. I've seen them come, I've watched them go, watched them rise, witnessed it and watched them blow. Watched them all blossom and watched them grow. Watched the lawsuits when they lost their dough.
Hello. Welcome to Who Watches Watching the Detectives, a podcast which is unlike any other on the internet. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
Don't listen to them. Do not.
My name is Eleanor. I am one of three hosts today here.
Today it's going to be three every day.
Listen. Yes, three of all time. Yes. But today specifically, as I am the one introducing everybody, so you will shut your mouth until it's time for you to be introduced. Okay, so actually, speaking of, we have with us on this journey, all of us, you included, a resident Killian expert and resident movie guy.
I prefer that. I don't want to be the Killian guy.
Local resident Killian expert and movie guy.
Yeah.
Resident
Grace.
Killian Twit.
President /
observer.
King of Killian Twitter.
Hashtag lurking. I'm not the president. I lurk outside and I have bionicles, binoculars, and I'm watching.
Much like a certain dynamic duo of which we will be discussing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, before we get into that, I have to introduce the third member of this trio of terror. Of course, two women would not make a listenable podcast. So legally, we are mandated to have a male voice. So if you could speak up for us and make this podcast listenable to the rest of the population.
Yeah, I was looking at the demographics and I thought there weren't enough white men with podcasts, so I had to pony up.
Well,
and
really,
I'm on the pony and the pony is crying.
Oh my god.
The thing is, we were really using you more than you're using us. We're really trying to get into that space, and so you're really helping us get the door open there.
I'm kind of a diversity hire, so DEI haters, beware.
You keep calling it our journey and our adventure.
Yes.
You're holding me here against my will.
Well, listen, it would not be fair for us or for the viewers at home if we got lost in the mires of Killian. The Killian Myers, as we say.
Killian Myers, yeah. No, famously.
Killian Myers Murphy. So we needed an expert to help us traverse the landscape.
Uh-huh.
Exactly. You're taking us bushwhacking with your big Killian-shaped machete.
That's crazy.
Carving your way up through the Killian Myers.
Hey, so that's nuts.
No, first off,
hey, so
that's nuts.
You're not up for a little bushwhacking?
I'm always down for some bushwhacking. Cut that. Don't put that in there. I didn't say that.
Nope, it's in there.
Do we want to talk about the movie? Do we want to have an origin?
Are we going to explain the premise?
Yeah, what we're doing?
What we're doing,
we're
watching...
The premise of the show?
I figured if they're here, they know, but if you want to explain...
That's not how this works.
Okay, so please, our resident Killian expert, please explain the concept of the show for us.
They're going to kill me. So we are watching the detectives once a week, every week for 100 weeks. Do we want to talk about the movie and the background? How did this happen?
I don't think that's necessary.
You don't think it's necessary?
Watching the Detectives is a 2007 film starring Cillian Murphy and Lucy Liu. It is allegedly a rom-com.
Allegedly.
I think it's a lot of things.
It's definitely a com. I think rom is alleged.
I think, and I have, again, text here. 9 pages of text. I have my own theories of the matter. One of which is that it's a meta commentary on romance as a whole. There's a lot of I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I think Lucy Liu is a tulpa.
This is crazy.
Oh, she's not real?
She doesn't exist. She's Killian's tulpa, but so are a lot of people in this movie. We'll get to it.
So
I want to, and I'm sorry, in the first 5 minutes of the movie, Killian kills a man over overdue VHS tapes.
He does, yeah.
I'm sorry. No, that's not what happens. Just
He guns him down in the street. The movie starts. I say first 5. It's in the first minute of the film.
It is like the first, yeah. 30 seconds.
It's actually, yeah, I have a timestamp. I commented on it. 1 minute, 25 seconds. Ad for your store with premise that you murder your customers.
Yeah, overdue VHS tapes. And then I wrote in the margins, kills me with his accent.
Oh, yeah.
It's really bad. I do have some comments, kind of some pre-film comments.
Okay,
now,
sure.
When, in the first opening seconds of the film, you know, obviously it shows the production company and the distributors, and I got a little curious.
Yeah.
The production company, Plum Pictures, went bankrupt in 2009.
That's awesome.
No.
The distributor, Peace Arch Entertainment, went bankrupt in 2013.
Of course.
And their co-producer, Hart Lunsford Pictures, went bankrupt in 2010.
Oh, God.
But it's okay, because Peace Arch Entertainment, they got to produce such hits as Dutch film Winky's Horse.
Oh, we all love.
So these are the minds we have behind this picture.
Truly titans of industry. So, Grace, did you have anything to say about his... I know you were upset with us saying that he kills a man.
Well, because it's like... Canonically, that's not what happened.
Well, you have to understand that I think
Blatantly untrue.
reality kind of blurs around Killian in this movie. Like, we can't really tell what reality is.
We're gonna have to come back to this because
No, because I weave a tapestry through my notes here, and if I could go through them some more, I would love to.
I was sitting here watching this, you know, and I was thinking to myself, like, it's gonna take us like episode 5. Episode 5 will start getting into crackpot theory.
No. I told I'm sorry. Instantly, I latched onto it.
This is worse than FBI agent theory.
Okay, hold on. Okay, so I did think about that at some point. That comes up. But immediately my notes after are those are your. I wrote down the quote. Those are your people.
Those Scottish people.
I like that line. And I said, this married couple with the baby are his only friends, and he cries so much.
Can we talk about the baby? Can we get something out of the way about the
Yes.
baby right now?
Okay, go
Do you
for
know what I'm
it.
about to say?
No.
Do you know what I'm about to? It's not. There's like, I finished watching the movie and I went to open YouTube again because, by the way, you can watch this movie for free on YouTube.
I did. That's how I watched it. And I will say, if you do the last, I want to say 3 minutes of the movie are cut off, maybe a minute and a half.
Oh, what,
and then
really?
Some of the credits. Yeah, because they use a copywritten song that they're not allowed. Like
what's
they
the
didn't get
song in
permission
the
on
credits?
YouTube. I don't know because I didn't get to hear it.
I'm
I can't hear
I'm like,
it.
have I seen the end of this movie? So there's a scene, 2 scenes with the baby, but there's a scene later on in the movie where they're at a picnic and Lucy Liu takes the baby from his friends and like pretends to drop it, and everyone is like, that's Cillian Murphy's baby, look how panicked he is. It's not his baby. It's never
not
been
his
his
baby.
baby.
No.
And they're
It's
like, look,
not.
the baby cries because he disappears. No, it's not his baby.
4 minutes, 42 seconds. Neil makes a baby cry.
That's all you need to know. That's all you need to know.
Neil, by the way, is the name of Cillian Murphy's character in the movie.
Yeah, his name is Neil,
Neil.
and Lucy Liu's character is named Violet, though I do not call her Violet one time in the entire 9 pages of my notes.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we'll probably be referring to them as Cillian and Lucy Liu.
Yeah.
Just, it's easier.
I love Lucy Liu.
No, yes,
I
that
love
was one of my
Lucy Liu.
notes.
I wrote that down somewhere.
That's actually several of my notes.
Yeah. I wrote down, I know they're both good actors. Why would they do this? And I think that sums up this whole experience.
Does anyone have anything to say about the water prank?
Fuck the water break.
Fuck, he's such an asshole.
He tries to pay the waiter to spill water, and the waiter's like, don't pay me, man. I
No,
want to do
the
this.
waiter is crazy.
He's like, don't offend me.
For reference,
don't offend me like I'd ask money for this.
For reference.
The waiter, he's like, can you spill water on her? And the waiter's like, on her tits?
Yeah. The waiter immediately, he's like, hey, do you see that girl sitting over there? And the waiter's like, yeah. And Cillian Murphy's like, can you like go spill some water on her? And the waiter goes, like, on her tits? Sir, why is that your first?
And then they established that he's done it more than once.
That this is like a common thing for Neil to be doing.
I wrote, he sucks. Real life girlfriend isn't like movie girlfriend. And then I said the fake orgasm joke about liking the seventh seal is
so
very
fucking
funny.
I wrote that I thought that his ex-girlfriend is so funny.
Yeah. No, she rules.
She's not in the movie nearly enough.
And I have 5 minutes, 50 seconds, engages in psychological warfare against his girlfriend by pouring water on her and watching from the bushes, then breaking up with her immediately after.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And
I realized on this watch through that he really is perfect for Lucy Liu's character.
oh my god, it's awesome. I think it clicked in my head this time, because every other time I've been like, I don't think either of them, because like there's nobody. Like nobody deserves either of these people.
Yeah.
No, it's them.
They deserve each other. They really are just two horrible, horrible people.
You know, I noticed that, like, I didn't really process until this watch is that the movie is so misogynistic.
Yeah.
It sucks so bad. It's the scene when they're playing basketball and Jason Sudeikis is like, did she like touch the bill a lot? Did she like talk
Oh my
to
god,
herself?
yeah.
And he's like, well, she's not schizophrenic.
What did I say about him? Fuck. You're jumping ahead for me.
I'm sorry, I didn't
Sounds to me like that chick.
Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Again, he's horrible, but he might be my favorite, like my second favorite character.
Didn't we have the debate once that this could be one of the first uses of Google as a verb?
I don't know.
I feel like we've had the discussion before.
It's possible.
I can never decide if I like him or his other friend more.
No, I like the other friend.
Lucian rules.
There are a couple small details.
What do you want to point out, Summer?
Oh yeah, I noticed softball is a recurring theme in the movie. Or not a theme, but like it comes up
shows up
multiple times in the movie. I never realized that he sponsors the softball team, like it's his team.
Yes, that's his softball
They bully him because he wasn't able to get them real uniforms.
He sponsors the softball team, as well as when he goes to the bar to watch the concert, he also sponsors Monday music nights at the bar.
Yeah.
But also,
But he can't afford that anymore.
He can't make any money. Like, he's not making any money.
Yeah, like, no, there's hardly anybody ever in his store. I mean, I guess there's people in his store, but it's like one dude a day.
I would, and I think I say this every single time I watch this movie, I would be there all the time. They would have to kick me out. I miss video stores so much.
Absolutely.
I wrote something down very early on in the movie, and then I got further in, and I was like, horrible realization, I might be Neil. I recommend movies the exact same way.
Now you realize.
Yeah. Just in the way he, like,
Yeah.
God, it's like really early on. Oh, when she's on the phone, when she first comes into the store.
Oh,
And
yeah.
she's like, what's up with Casino?
And she's clearly fucking with him.
Yeah. And she's like, what's up with Casino? And he's like, oh, it's a poor man's Goodfellas. And I was like, oh. It's like, oh no.
Like, she keeps walking up to him in that scene.
It's so.
And then he acts coy. They both suck.
They both.
And then apparently Lucy Liu has never rented a movie before.
Which in 2009 or 7 is crazy.
However, she also claims to not have a driver's license.
Yeah.
And then clearly has driven to Neil's house at the end of the movie.
Yeah, and then
so.
she claims to have a pimp named Donald. Again, I'm not taking any of her statements that are clearly supposed to be jokes as jokes.
And then doubling back on the pimp thing, he's like, oh, it's that guy, right? The other guy?
Yeah.
Why do you have a name off the dome?
I think it's a movie reference.
I think it is,
Maybe.
yeah.
It must be.
I think he's referencing a movie and she just like flatly is like taking it on surface value.
In the background, on the shelves, they're labeled with their categories, and you can see as she's browsing the store, they have one shelf. Half of it says vampires, and the other half says lesbo vamps. And I want to know what's on that shelf.
Mm-hmm.
Probably some really good movies.
There's some great. That's our next podcast. In 100 weeks, we come back. We watch all the lesbo vampire movies.
The scene where they guess where she stopped the movie rules.
It's so good.
And then I wrote down that I like the line. You
wrote the words "nothing at all" on the envelope.
Yeah. And then his friends are like,
I don't understand.
I don't know what we're talking about anymore.
They're all so fucking stupid.
You can get a lot of good movies for $50. I really like. And then she clearly hates and wants to torture Neil.
Uh-huh. The dinner.
Oh, yes.
Their first
Why
date.
does he... No, hold on. Why does he spit the mouthwash back in the bottle?
This is
It's
important.
disgusting.
Why does he do this?
I wrote it down as a
Why
note.
does he do
He's
this?
gross. I have.
Why does...
Yeah,
I
he
wrote
is.
down at a certain point, iron your damn shirt. There's absolutely no reason why he needs to do that. Also, the more important question I think we all need to be asking is I don't think that shot with the mouthwash, like the mouthwash is on the TV stand.
Yeah.
He picks up the mouthwash next to the TV. So this is not like a first time.
He does this.
This is like a practice thing.
Well, it looked like a brand new bottle of mouthwash, but I guess it would if he always spits it back in the bottle.
I just got violently ill thinking about that.
Oh, no.
So
It's
disgusting.
so awesome.
Yeah, the way she steals glasses to act drunk,
It's really great.
she clearly hates him.
This place has the best.
Goddamn penis in town.
What?
Penis.
P-E-A.
Nuts. Triple, quadruple platinum in my household. I quote it all the time for... This movie is horrifically quotable.
No, it really is.
What really sucks about that...
It's really
What
bad.
really, really sucks is, like, you've made a movie that I want to reference literally all the time. And I can't because, like,
Grace,
no one else has seen this movie.
I'm gonna be honest, this might be a good movie.
The thing is...
I wrote a couple of times. I'm like, the lighting is really good.
You know what's so funny is I wrote the exact opposite. I thought that the lighting... There's nothing visually appealing about this
I
one.
love the lighting. I love some of the shots. I love the shot when the detectives are interrogating him and we get to see above the
Yes.
the,
Oh my god. I love that. scene.
ceiling fan. I know that's like a reference, but it's a great shot.
It's a movie about movies at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And I can't complain about that.
When she's at the restaurant, and I've never noticed this before I've only seen it 2 times, but
Yeah.
as she's talking to him, she's unscrewing the tops on the salt and pepper shakers.
Yeah. Just everything that she possibly can.
She's
Like,
so
she's
evil.
such an asshole.
I think we've had this conversation like the first time that I showed you guys. Because Summer, I showed it to you first. And then I
Yes.
came back and I made everyone else watch
I think
it.
I joined halfway through the first time you were showing.
Maybe. Did we ever have the discussion of like, how long would you let this go on before you're like, I'm out?
I don't think we did.
I don't think so.
No? Okay. Because, I don't know when it would be for me, but my favorite thing, it would probably be the phone number thing when the cops show up
Mm-hmm.
and the fake detectives show up. That'd be like, all right, get the fuck out of here. But yeah, what is your limit?
It's definitely the fake detectives.
Because that's like the 1st thing
I'm-
that happens, right?
I'm gonna be honest. When we go to break into the store,
You're not breaking in a media giant?
I'm breaking into. No, I want to watch basketball.
Yes, after they leave the restaurant, they then go and break and enter into the video rental store.
Yeah, I love the scene. I love the scene where he's talking about how awful the store is, and she's like picking up a rock to like throw it through the window. I love that.
Great.
Yes.
I wanted to say that Killian is very good at whistling. Did you guys notice that when there's a scene where he's whistling?
And neatness. Dirt under your fingernails must be cleaned every day, and it's better in private.
I didn't catch that. I didn't.
He's like whistling along to the music. That's why I'm like saying he has like meta awareness of what is happening in this movie. Like it's the start of a scene, so there's a song at the end of the previous scene, and the soundtrack continues, and he's whistling along.
So you're arguing is that
So he knows, he's aware of the soundtrack.
this is a part of your Tulpa theory?
And so then this leads me to bring up that the dinner scene is where my theory that Lucy Liu was trained by the CIA to find and train MK Ultra subjects, like this is Project Artichoke. And like, so she knows that he can like see into the meta reality of the movie. Yeah.
I see.
So
And then I really liked the line, "Don't call me Bambi."
I caught that one for the first time. Like, I had never ever heard it before. I thought it was so fucking funny.
As night closes on the video store, they go and they hide in the closet. And I really love when she pulls out just a full-size lighter.
Yeah.
And there's a bit of him blowing it out, and then she keeps relighting it.
They have, like, really great chemistry.
The first crime of the movie is breaking and entering. I'm pretty sure, unless somebody wants to correct me.
Somebody, you're fucking calling on the Steve Kornacki of Cillian Murphy.
Actually, the first crime would be when Violet steals the $50.
You're right. Okay, so the second crime in the movie would be breaking and entering.
Yeah.
And then this is where we mention sounds to me like that chick was cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. and then I like, this is what therapy did for me.
That's on his t-shirt.
That's what his t-shirt says.
Yeah. I have a couple of t-shirts. There's another one later on that when they're talking about Japanese.
I was gonna say, why did I know exactly where you were going with this?
Yeah, I'm so happy I could just shit shirt.
Is that Jason Sudeikis? Where's that?
I don't know who.
No, it's Lucian.
Because I think this
Lucian,
segues really greatly into you said that if I won, I
Get to piss on your foot. I never did. What are you waiting for? You want to piss on my foot? Be my guest.
Hey, Neil.
Yeah.
Want to see me piss on his foot?
Sure. Yeah. Just not in the store.
Yes, dude.
what the fuck is that about?
That's a little later. Yeah.
I was full transparency. I didn't know we were doing this until 1 p.m. today.
Mm-hmm.
And so I watched it in the car, and I couldn't really take notes because it gets dark at like 11 a.m. So I'm going off the dome. So if I'm jumping around, you rein me in.
I'm trying to.
You say no?
After they break in and the police come, but before it's like the next day,
Yeah.
they're hiding and they're sitting beside the fence, and there's a line from Lucy Liu. She says, "There's probably
a frisbee around here somewhere."
Oh yeah.
She's just gonna hang around throwing a frisbee to herself.
And she would. I believe that wholeheartedly.
And they're such terrible business owners. You're telling me their job is to sit on a couch watching movies all day, serving 2 customers an hour, and their asses are out back behind the store playing basketball?
Yeah.
Where the money is coming from, nobody knows.
I want to see the profits.
I need their financial statements.
How are you paying for this softball team?
How are you paying for your softball team? When do you have the time to go play softball? What are your hours? Who are you employing other than those 2 schmucks?
He's not even good at basketball.
No, I wrote during the dunk slam scene that neither of these people can shoot a basketball. I like that apparently Lucy Liu is very good at reading body language. She's like with the binoculars looking at the cop in front of the family video or whatever.
Yes, she's reading their lips.
And then I wrote next to that she's a compulsive liar.
Well, we knew that.
Yeah, well, she grew up in Cape Town, Tasmania, Alaska, and Stockholm. And then next to that, I wrote, look up CIA black sites.
Oh my god.
And then my next note is 30 minutes in, Lucy Liu is so gorgeous.
Yes. Very true.
Neil spends roughly 75% of the runtime standing around awkwardly. And then underneath that, I said, Cillian needs to close his fucking mouth.
I would say about 70% hands on hips, arms folded.
No.
Standing around awkwardly.
The arms dangling awkwardly
Also
when he's like emotionally distressed.
He's good at it.
It's perfect.
He's great at it. That's why in like every other movie that he's in, they make him wear really tight jackets so that he can't move his arms.
I like the quote, not until people can get any movie they want beamed directly into their television screens, then I'm screwed. I wrote, uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Does he know?
Buddy, I'm watching this going 40 miles an hour.
Yeah, it's I was gonna say now it's time for the fake detective scene, but if you have anything to say before that.
I do, because the secret gambling ring is dropped before we ever see it later on.
Yes.
Yeah, they call that a callback.
And with the secret password scene, this is evidence that Neil can alter reality with his thoughts.
Is it?
I don't think it is. I think you need to drop Tulpa.
Well,
theory.
no. There's later on. There's proof that, and it'll blow your fucking minds. Just hang with me, okay?
I'm so scared.
I'm hanging, but I'm afraid.
Hold on. It's on page 7. We're on page 4. Okay, give me some time to cook.
I also have a quote here. I think you like to play games, you little cocksucker.
Yeah. I think that's the definitive quote from that scene. It's so fucking funny.
And then the detective, I don't know what we're allowed to say on here.
I'll bleep
but
out anything you can't say.
He starts pulling his cock out, and he's approaching Neil quite threateningly. And the other detective says, "Not again, Tony."
Oh, and then he's like, "I tried to help you."
Yeah, that's when Neil says, "What are you doing?" He says, "You know goddamn well what I'm doing."
I want to know, like, did she ask them to do that?
No, I think that's a thing he does. And that's why he's like, "God damn it, not again."
His classic "I'm gonna rape you" bit.
Yeah.
I want to know about those guys. I want, like, a spin-off. I want to know, like, are they detectives? Are they actors who pretend to be detectives?
I think...
Are they ex-cops that just, like... My fan theory, I think they're Marines who have been dishonorably discharged for being fucking stupid.
I like that. I was going to say that they're just two buds who like to do bits, but...
Two buds who like to do bits.
Baby needs sunglasses. Baby will stare at the sun.
Yes, absolutely. The couple friends have an argument about whether or not their baby needs sunglasses. And Neil says no because a baby wouldn't stare at the sun, and that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Yes, it would.
For the same reason a baby wouldn't hold its breath until it passed out. They certainly scream until they pass out.
It's so...
Babies have such sensitive little eyes. Put sunglasses on them. Do it now.
I want you to put a sunglass on that little baby sunglasses.
I have a couple notes before the sex scene. She says, quote,
By all means, I'm jumping through.
"You'd be a lousy spy, Neil." Clearly this is because she is a spy. She's a CIA operative.
She would know. No.
She's a rogue asset.
Don't say C. We've had this discussion before. This is the common theory that we've come with, right, Summer? Like, the CIA theory is what we all agreed upon.
Hold on.
This has nothing to do with Tulpa theory. Get the fuck out of here.
Tulpa theory is real, okay? I'm just tying it into the CIA theory because I think you're right that she's a CIA agent. I just think she also knows she could be a Tulpa. She could know that Neo is capable of reality altering powers. I need to power scale him personally.
Can we power scale Neil Lewis?
Tulpas can be CIA agents too, you bigot.
This is true.
I'm being fucking bullied. I'm being bullied on my own podcast.
What's your next note?
Yeah, I have her ass is so lying about this being her neighbor's house that she feeds the cats. I believe she walked into the first house she saw and got lucky that the door happened to be unlocked.
And I believe this.
Yeah, it makes sense why she was hesitant to go back later on.
Her actual house is so fucking sick. Her fish
awesome.
TV set.
The fish TV rules.
And there's so many like pillows and blankets.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I think it's so sweet that he's like, yeah, I've got the Space Channel. And she's like, yeah, I have that too. And brings up a little light. And then immediately he's like, all right, I know how this works.
I have pornography.
I have the porn channel.
And then and then they're kissing upside down, and then magically they orient themselves correctly. It doesn't make any sense.
It seems to be that her bed is in the middle of the room because she climbs over the top of the bed.
This is very true.
Well, I don't know if that's weird.
That's not weird to you?
To have your bed just floating in the middle of your room?
Yeah, people can have alternative house layouts,
yeah,
you
but
guys.
That's like not...
Now who's being bigoted, huh?
That's like feng shui. I want to get that guy on TikTok who does like he has like the little
Yeah,
3D
the little
printed
models.
bedroom. Yeah. I want him to do that and tell you guys how fucked up it is.
Is pool hopping a crime?
Yeah.
If so, not crime number 3 is the same as crime number 2, and then crime number 4 should be Killian climbing into his car soaking wet.
Yes.
Yeah, I noted that too. All wet, getting into the car, shaking my head. You'll ruin the seats.
Mm-hmm. And then we run into Killian's only real friends, the married couple with the kid, who demand to meet Killian's new stalk subject just on a whim. They're like, sure, can we meet her?
They're enthusiastic about it.
Emerson is a cute baby.
His name is Emerson?
He's a very cute baby.
We know the baby's name? Do they say it?
Yes.
No, do they say it? Oh, I didn't know that they said it.
Yeah.
Yeah, his name is Emerson.
I've just been calling him that baby the whole time.
Well, I mean, that is what we call babies. And then crime number 4 for real is stolen picnic.
Is that like a crime though?
And then apparently the secret ingredient to Jell-O is salt.
Salt.
And Neil's only real friend's wife, she can't make Jell-O apparently. She doesn't know how.
She can't. It's impossible.
The only person who calls it Jell-O is Neil.
There's Tulpa theory for you. He's invented Jell-O.
He invented no. He's the only one who remembers that Jell-O is a thing. Everyone else is forgotten, and they're like, "What is this?"
The yesterday of Jell-O.
I don't have any notes during the picnic scene. There's about a 6-minute gap in my note taking. And my next comment is there's a poster in the store I really like. It's called Otis's Opuses, and it has a white dog on it. And I looked it up, and it's a 2004 indie alternative album.
Oh,
that rules.
My God. Oh my God. How have we not mentioned the most important character in this movie thus far?
Who?
Well-dressed man.
Well-dressed. Oh, I was gonna get to well-dressed man. He's part of Tulpa theory.
Oh my God! Don't ruin well-dressed man for me.
Okay, listen. We're almost to Tulpa theory.
I guess we haven't gotten to the point where well-dressed man would be important, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
I do have it noted twice that he appears, once at 15 minutes 9 seconds and again at 40 minutes 10 seconds.
Every appearance.
A third time at 57 minutes 36 seconds when the ill-fated incident happens.
Which we're rapidly approaching in my notes. When they're watching TV at the old lady's house, he totally spills beer on both her furniture and the cats. And then the scene where we learn about her borophobia, but she's totally not a manic pixie dream girl. She just has borophobia, and she's walking all on and all over a bunch of gravestones,
completely desecrating them.
I wrote that down because it really bothered me. They're all over those gravestones,
just up and walking all over them. Yeah, I guess it's in character, but she also apparently knows a nude hang glider guy.
Shout out to deleted nude hang gliding scene, by the way.
That can't be real.
No, it's real. They're on the roof of the restaurant, and Lucian is there for some reason.
Oh my fucking God.
I'll have to find it and show you guys before next week. Or maybe I'll show you before we record next week. I used to have it bookmarked on Twitter, because I'm pretty sure that people only found out that it existed because people were messaging, but tweeting with the director, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I worked on that movie. I did that movie. Let me tell you about it."
Have we gotten to the first breakup? It basically boils down to, "I love you. You're just really weird, and you should be normal. You want to have sex?" And then she's like, "No." And that's when I said the lighting in this movie is really good.
I thought the lighting in the sex scene was pretty good. The red, the warm tones.
I like the noir shots. But this is where Tulpa theory starts.
All right.
I said Lucy Liu is a physical manifestation of his internal psyche. It's manifestation of his fears and desires, which is why she randomly appears in places. And it's also why Neil is able to manifest an entire concert / recreate well-dressed man after the fire.
No, the fire happens at the concert.
Right, no, but after the fire, well-dressed man comes back, and that's because he desires well-dressed man to be there, and there he is. It really takes off because Lucy Liu plants an image of a giant bald Polish man, and I think this is where the CIA training, they're testing his abilities. They're like, if we give him a specific image, if we plant this specific image? Can we make Neil summon him into existence? And after Lucy Liu does that, Neil his psychosis begins to manifest, and he populates the world with giant bald men. The first of which I want to apologize to poor Steve from Wyoming, who was gay. And Neil completely is just such a rude asshole to him.
Who is Steve? I'm fucking lost. Who is Steve from Wyoming?
He's the first bald man that he interrogates after being told the story of the big bald
yes, my bad. Yep.
And then before the scene of poor Steve from Wyoming and we learn about the giant Polish man, I said, take those damn sunglasses off, Neil.
This is a Killian Twitter anecdote. That scene, the concert, gets shared around so much, and people are like so obsessed with it. It's so ugly. It's so bad, and I'm so sick of seeing it.
Do you think he's supposed to be actually singing in that scene, or is he lip syncing?
Oh, I'm like 100% sure that he's lip syncing.
It's such a strange scene because it comes out of nowhere. It's never established that he can play music. And then he has this full elaborate setup.
Yeah, I don't.
And she just knows to appear. This is where Tulpa theory really starts to take over. Because the plot of the movie completely falls apart after this point. Like before you could be like, okay, this is a normal rom-com. But like after she starts planting the images into his head, the movie completely falls apart.
Can I put a little wrench in Tulpa theory for a second?
Okay, explain how I've been led astray.
Where did he get the music equipment? I don't care if he knows how to play or not. Like that doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
He gets the equipment. His friend owns that bar where they play all the concerts. He could have borrowed the equipment, I think, really easily.
Yeah, but he storms off while the show is happening. I assume to set up, right? But how could he get the equipment to set up if they're using it?
I don't know, man. I just work here.
See, this is Tulpa theory is fucking foolproof.
Do you think he already had the stage in his backyard, or do you think he went and bought one?
I think the moment he saw her, what he assumed to be flirting with this band member, I think it fully formed in his garage. And I think he just went back to play the instruments.
Okay, so I think that is not true.
No, because Tulpa theory. Where do the bald men come from? There's no bald men in the entire movie. She plants the image of a bald man in his mind, and there they are.
You have to calm down.
I don't think there's anything you could say to me that could buy me into Tulpa theory.
Neil insults random loud bald man at Jerry Lewis movie, calls him Polish slur. Bald man gets really hurt and offended. And then the scene where there's the next scene there's a single dog photo taped to her fridge.
I have that same note. Dog stock photo scotch taped to the fridge.
I would do that shit. I'm not gonna lie. That's awesome.
Random dog. She doesn't have it. It's like
She doesn't have a dog. They use the term balling as slang for having sex, and I've never heard that before. I just noted that down.
Yeah. There's on her wall, there's like a target practice paper like that you shoot at that it's like been used. So there's like she's decorated the interior of her apartment with used target practice papers.
She kills people.
Further proof she's in the CIA.
This is CIA theory. This is not Tulpa theory.
Well, I wasn't saying it was Tulpa. I'm just pointing it out.
I don't know why I thought you were gonna say Tulpa theory.
Yeah, in the movie theater, Neil does call a bald man a slur. However, the man's bare feet are out in the movie theater. Justified, you decide.
Everybody does applaud him for telling him to shut up.
Yes, everybody claps.
I think he does take it. He takes it too far.
He gets like angry.
Yeah, and then he's like, the bald man gets really hurt, and he's like,
"You're the Polak,"
which is insane.
Crazy. And then Lucian's like, I didn't know you were Polish.
I love Lucian.
Lucian rules.
I think he and Jason Sudeikis kind of carry.
Yeah.
Like there's
I don't know if there's a weak actor in this movie, I'm gonna be honest.
I just get mad every time I see Jason Sudeikis.
Why?
He just
What did he
pisses
do
me
to you?
off.
Oh, okay.
I think of that fucking purple crayon and I get mad.
What purple? What are you fucking talking about? Are you talking about Harold?
Yeah, was that not him?
That wasn't him. No, that's
Oh.
Zachary Levi.
Oh my god.
Oh, man, I have an apology to make to Mr. Sudeikis.
Oh my
I'm gonna
god.
apologize to Jason Sudeikis right now.
I have a letter to write.
And then there's the scene where we meet his ex-girlfriend and Chad is a Chad.
Yes. Chad is
and then
the
he's like
chattiest Chad that's ever chatted.
he's bullying Killian. He's like observing from a distance, and this is not only where Neil realizes, it's where I realized in the audience that he really is just like Lucy and Lou. They're perfect for each other.
He finally gets it.
And then I said, you do need 8 copies of Ernest Goes to Camp.
No, you don't.
And then I said Lucian is my second favorite character.
Reverse that. Who's your favorite character?
Lucy Liu, of course.
Oh, yes, of course.
We get the classic line at 1 hour, 14 minutes, 32 seconds. You signed it Neil Adventure. You crossed out adventure and wrote adventure again.
Is my favorite scene in the movie. The fucking, the whole monologue he does is so, like, she ruined it for me. It's just so boring.
So boring.
He's like, look, here's Jason, and Jason's gonna come in.
His mind really is broken at that point.
Yes.
He's a shell of a man.
Yeah.
About him wearing the cowboy poncho.
Sure.
Killian, Western man, the cowboy kid Murphy. I really liked what the
Sam Hill's going on in here, Glenn.
The secret password knock is straight out of I Think You Should Leave. And this is again Tulpa theory, where Killian's psychotelekinetic powers manifest an entire underground blackjack ring. Can we power scale this?
This is the only thing that I will be like, wait a damn
Okay,
minute.
not the sudden apparition of 3 bald men.
No, because that's one of those things where like you see like
They're feeding you the slow, like, you have to understand that Tulpa theory, it's a slow trickle into insanity triggered by Lucy Liu. And it doesn't happen all the way. It starts with little things like him bringing up a bandstand and a bunch of instruments and well-dressed man. And then later on, that's dad is when he manifests an entire gambling ring and $20,000. That's when that happens later on in the movie.
Here's the thing. Oh god, I completely fucking forgot.
That's good.
Oh, it's
Glenn
like gone.
shoots a truck. Sorry.
It's like completely gone out of my mind. Oh no, here's what I was gonna say. Here's why I think the bald thing doesn't work at all. Because now he's aware of this and he's looking out. Like he's paying more attention. So I don't think that he's manifesting them. I think that they're there the whole time. He's just not.
Well,
you're also not looking out for them because you have no reason to look out for bald men until that point.
Listen, next week I'm going back. I'm counting every single bald man I see before and after Lucy Liu plants the thought. And if I don't see any bald men before Lucy Liu plants the idea of a bald man into his head, I'm gonna freak the fuck out.
When I drove a blue Kia Soul. When I had my car, I didn't see a single other blue Kia Soul in the entire area in which I live and work. Talking a 30-minute commute to and from work every day. I didn't see a single other blue Kia Soul. I sell my blue Kia Soul. You know what pops up all over the place? Blue Kia Souls. No one I didn't manifest those Kia Souls because I got rid of mine.
Right, because you don't have Tulpa theory, but you know who does? Neil Adventure.
Neil Adventure.
Glenn shoots a truck full of 5-gallon office jugs, and water shoots out like a pool jet. What kind of pressure washer ash bottles are they transporting? And it goes for a while.
Yeah,
you would think the bottle would empty out, but no, it
goes for a while.
It's like they've shot a fire truck, and the fire truck has sprung a leak.
It goes on for a comically long time.
I would also like to say the truck, the brand of water this truck is carrying. Wait for it. It's Poland Spring.
Oh my god.
Oh fuck. Oh no. No, Summer, I can't have you buying into Tulpa theory too. The second breakup is my favorite because it precedes my favorite sequence of images in the entire film.
But before that, you get the wonderful line, and the line that I've included in my first Letterboxd review. What are you doing?
I'm washing myself. I'm cooling down. I'm hot. What happened to your head? You okay? I fell down.
I'm washing
I don't remember that line at all.
I just watched it and I don't remember. When you posted the review, I went to look at it and I saw it and I said, they say that in this movie?
Yes, and I think my shtick is that I'm gonna have a different quote for every review.
Well, this movie is infinitely quotable.
I think it is.
Does anyone have any notes or anything to say about the post breakup just kidding about our breakup scene?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go off.
Are you gonna say?
I thought you guys were going.
You said you had something to say.
No, not really.
What?
I just kind of hope that it would sprout. It's my favorite. I think it's so funny. Him crying and just cutting through the different, playing softball and doing the work is so fucking funny to me. And you two can attest to this. It's gone, quadruple platinum.
He cries so much. I love the gif. I love the gif of him playing softball.
All the time. It's so sped up.
When I saw him collapse at the table, I was like, "Oh, that's the editing gif."
Yeah. Yeah.
The sobbing montage is indeed a classic, and then he just starts to kill himself.
Yes. He decides he's gonna drown himself, and in his last moments, his subconscious produces Lucy Liu with a "just kidding about our breakup" box of chocolates. And the first lines that Killian says after leaving the bathtub is, "What?" 3 times. And then I said, pinned down to the couch by a wet Killian, I would throw up.
Yeah.
A wet, naked Killian.
Nope.
Yeah, I would throw up. And then 90 minutes into the movie, Lucy Liu tells Killian that he is a sick, twisted baby who has unrealistic standards. And then my audio cuts out at the 1 hour 29 minute mark, and then the editing of them in the car at the end is unhinged.
Yes, yeah.
I think so.
I, much like Lucy Liu, also feel obliged to torture sad little damp cat boys psychologically.
Go off.
I also love the color of the car she bought. It's a really good car. I love the little hair scarf she ties around her head in the final moments of the movie.
This is not totally off topic, but I think I've noticed something we've never noticed about this movie.
Okay.
I don't think this was ever in theaters.
Oh.
Was it?
I'm looking at the Letterboxd releases. It said it premiered at Tribeca, and then it was on DVD.
Oh.
And it's not rated.
Oh my god.
Direct to DVD.
This is a straight to DVD. Which I feel like we could have guessed.
I don't know if that's fair. I would watch this in a theater.
I'm not saying that I wouldn't see it. I want to do a shadow cast and have a Rocky Horror experience and you throw shit at the screen. They're walking through the graveyard. People are throwing dirt in the air.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, they're talking about naked hang gliding. I think that we should all throw little paper airplanes.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Come back next week and have all the details on the Rocky Horror watching the detectives joke along experience.
Absolutely, you have to keep cooking. I noticed after the film ended, in the YouTube sidebar, there was a version of the movie from a French channel, but it was titled How I Met a Femme Fatale.
Oh.
Yeah, I think they did have a couple different names in the international market.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was just looking at the Letterboxd page.
I saw it was released, I think, Portugal and France and USA.
It was at Tribeca in May of 2007, and then Sunshine was August of 2007. I love that this is in between the Batman movies.
That's crazy.
To put this into perspective, this movie came out in 2007. Batman Begins, where he was like the main villain, was in 2005.
This is immediately pre-Dark Knight.
Then just take some time off to do a little.
He was in a movie, I want to watch this, so I haven't seen it. It's called The Wind That Shakes the Barley. I think it's about the IRA. In 2006. And then in 2007, he was in Watching the Detectives.
That's so funny. How did he get cast in this? I want to know. Like,
I want to know, like, what happened? How did it come to be?
Well, he's been quoted to say that early in his film career, he had to take some roles that he regrets and that he wouldn't take now.
oh,
And I
no.
imagine that he's talking exclusively about this role.
In the Criterion interview, he's literally like, I did a movie in America in the early 2000s that I did not like working on.
Which is crazy. I wonder what movie that is.
Sure, it could be Red Eye.
I have one last note. I just said it's not often you get to see Asian women in these kind of fun, spunky roles in a rom-com, and I think it's really refreshing. And Lucy Liu's performance is fantastic.
It really is.
She's
Like,
really
they
wonderful.
honestly, again, I have to say, I don't know if there's a really bad performance in this movie.
No, it kind of eats.
We watched Watching the Detectives.
No, we have to do it 99 more times.
Only 99 more times to go.
That was episode 1, everybody.
Before we end, I want on the record predictions. When are you gonna get sick of this movie?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. when you have to listen to the editing.
I think episode 3 is it's going to become nauseating to me.
I will say 20 minutes into the movie, I said, this is a mistake.
I was fully prepared because you guys, this whole time I've been like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. And you guys were like, no, we're going to do it. It'll be great. I asked that question. I was expecting like episode 50. So I was like, I'm going to say 25. And then you said 3. And I said, thank God.
Yeah, I think we're going to be in for some dark waters soon, but we'll get through it.
Epic highs and lows.
I think there's gonna be episode 5. We all synchronize drowning ourselves in the bathtub.
What?
Then our tulpas can continue the podcast.
Exactly. You're so right.
I'm not subscribing to Tulpa Theory.
I can't wait for episodes in the 60s and the 70s when we all get our own tulpas.
Can my tulpa be Killian?
Let me know in the comments, folks, if you agree with tulpa theory.
I don't want to hear about Tulpa Theory.
I need some believers in tulpa theory. The numbers are there. I'm gonna come back next week with my bald man calculations, and we're gonna localize this damn thing. With that being said, I'm Eleanor.
I'm Summer.
I'm Grace.
And we're watching the Detectives.
Woohoo!
We're watching the Detectives.
And you're watching us watching?
You're watching Disney Channel.
Wap, 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 wap.
Now, this is very special to me because in the early 2000s, I was in America and I wasn't really happy with the sort of work I was doing, and I wasn't really happy with my approach to acting, and everyone was like, man, you gotta watch Cassavetes, and like it was kind of embarrassing that I hadn't watched it by then. So I went out and I bought this collection